You see Wisla Krakow early on, going for the control towards main. It's going to be Posnek to try and get an early pick down towards Jacob. Unfortunately, Jacob comes out on top. They'll try to double up as well here as he peeks down towards a main. Holding his position towards Sandwich means that right now Wisla Krakow definitely have a tough old road ahead of them here. Goofy good for one, Goofy good for two. Jacob straight on two more of his own though. Leave it down to Goofy now to really be the man in the back line to do some damage.
A big play, and luckily for Extremum, all 5 of them are stacked towards this A site, but Sparrow and Hades kick things off. Jacob bounces back with a deagle, but the weapon unretrievable, and this bomb site, it needs to be heavily defended. With Azza finding one more, it keeps the numbers even, and Bentet spots out Jedka above the smoke, but can't eliminate him before his teammate falls. 2 versus 2 situation, and Sparrow coming in from the side of the green train, spots out the first. Azza gone. Bentet's taken tons of damage from that molly, and with only 16 points of health right out in the open, knows that he has very little chance here. He needs to get the timing right, and as he dances around this red train, oh, he just about wraps around. This is impeccable, but they're up against a full investment. Yeah, you look at the last 3 rounds they've won. The first was against a bonus round. The second was against 2 pistols, and the third was against a full eco. Now that they've got the big guns to contend with, this is where it gets tricky. As they burst onto this B site, they're taking heavy casualties. Bentet fires away for 2, desperate to stay alive for a little bit longer here to allow rotations to come in. He's unable to do so as Goofy eliminates him. This C4 is going to go down, and Extremum on a late retake. Can they get this one done? They've not got the utility to do so. And Gratisfaction hoping that someone faces into his AWP scope, but for now, no one's going to do so.
Again, right now, Extreme are all spread out around the map. None of them are really in a position to get this initial entry. Goofy, his aggression, it's time to perfection now. And as Gratisfaction makes a bit of noise, he'll be caught out. Jacob good for one, Goofy there to trade. Now, Hades onto Azza on the flank. Leaves it all down to Jacob.
He's fallen away, but with the double drop coming through, Azza has an opportunity to spray away for both, but he can't connect for either. Jedka finds the opening man advantage, and Wisla, off the back of it, remember that stat we saw earlier, have a good chance of finishing this round. Liaz finds one, there's a second with the AUG, and now the man advantage swinging in the CT side.
Hades, he equalized with a lovely shot though with that. Oh, put it down to a 2-on-2. Sparrow onto Bentet now. Puts it all down to Gratisfaction. If there was a flary way to open up this game, it would be winning this 1v2 here. Gets to the other side. Spots out Sparrow, misses the shot, looks to re-aggress, looks to re-encroach, but Hades finishes the job.
The impact, and in these early rounds, he's really the catalyst that's got Wisla going. That's a very awkward engagement as everybody on the server flashed, but somehow Sparrow comes out on top. It is traded, but Goofy finds another, and we're in a 3-on-3. And it seems like Wisla, they've find out what works for them. Bomb it out onto the A site, take all the jewels, trade evenly, and then come out on top in the end. And that's what they've been doing. There's just a little bit of a firepower disparity here. When it comes to these trades, Extremum, they don't seem to be able to keep the numbers in their favor.
What's interesting as well from Wisla Krakow is, well, actually, what's interesting from Extremum is credit to they're keeping the man count even. But for Wisla Krakow now, they don't expect Jacob to go heaven twice. And while he's good for one, Bojnek there to trade. And this flank from Bentet is everything. Good for Hades. He rings true first. Hey, Bentet, he continues the aggression. Shuts down Bojnek. A bit of damage wherever possible. Kills either way. 4-on-3. Sparrow good for Jacob. With that left in 3-on-3, and right now for Wisla, they're going to be more than happy that they were able to equal the man count. More importantly, holding Extremum back.
Well, the man advantage in Extremum's favor, but look how much damage has been dealt on this Glock. Oh, that was so close. Jedka could have fired one shot there onto the sniper, and it would have been all over. Extremum. Wisla, despite this train map, you really want to be putting up some big numbers and keeping this pressure applied to Wisla. You don't want to be having a really rocky start. A couple of beautiful opening kills coming through there, though. 2-man advantage. Now, a lot of damage dealt onto Extremum, but with the numbers in their favor, they should be able to finish this one off. That smoke grenade, doesn't quite land in time, but it's going to isolate Hades. Means that he can't support Sparrow, who's low on health and up close to this angle. As Jacob re-aggresses from the right-hand side, that's going to be a freebie for him. Traded there by Hades. But Extremum looking like they should be able to take the 7th.
Especially with Gratisfaction finding that kill to Hades there. It leaves Jedka, the last one left standing, in a 1v4. And as he makes his way forward, Gratisfaction looking to get up close and personal with him. Jedka swinging wide, caught out by Gratisfaction, who welcomes himself to the game. Extremum with 7 now, keep things even, but they definitely have reason to fear because Wisla are about to behold them to what will be their CT side, a 69% win rate on that CT side.
Which Wisla have read quite nicely.
Two shots for out either way. So just tries to take out some of these initial members. Can't quite do so. It's Jedka to find the kill onto Grat's faction. Liaz actually able to turn around to find Pozhnek. Hades in the flank, good for another before Azza is able to trade onto him. Good, we get the next end of the matter onto Liaz means that he's well aware that Extremum are turning their attention towards the A site. Azza, he'll be able to get to the site, he'll be able to plant. Benta already with control towards back lines. He's spotted out though. He's damaged. Goofy tries to swarm him. Can't quite kill him though, as the rest of his team make their way forward. Benta spotted out. He gets one, turns around, looks for a second. Can't quite do so though. He's more than aware that another player's going to come up from lines right now, and it's so messy. But Swear finds Benta. It leaves Azza in a 1v2. Goofy low on HP. And with that, Goofy, it doesn't matter. He only needs one bullet, and he does just that. A nice smoke as well to embed that round as Wisla Krakow. They falter just a little bit here. Well, sorry, they don't falter. It's Extremum
to get some frags. Oh, the timing.
Oh,
that is rough.
That is really bad time. It doesn't matter. Pozhnek lines up 3. His teammate towards the top of heaven's good for another. Nice to double up. Can't quite do so onto Bentet though. Bentet now in a 1 versus 4. 22 HP to his name, but the reality is that.
Well, with Hades on this angle, he's about to meet and greet 3 players. The flash and the smoke comes out, but he turns it, fires off the shot, can't connect. And as he's falling back, he's now trapped on the bomb site. He gets eliminated by Jacob, but the trades are there. Bentek comes out on top, and it falls onto Ponchek's shoulders. 1 on 3, right through the smoke, finds Bentek. Only takes a tickle of damage in that engagement, and he is going to fall away. Try and re-aggress from elsewhere. Knows that he can't contend from connector any longer. He's worried about some kind of aggression coming in from B, but that's not the case. And actually, this is quite smart from him.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But it looks like Azza's going to be more than ready for this. Is the timing favoring him? Yes, it is. Grat's faction now caught out by Pozhnek, and suddenly this is very doable. Fortunately for Pozhnek, he doesn't quite have all the utility in the world as Azza with a molly as well. Will look to abuse that as Pozhnek. Oh, let's tap it once, turns around. Azza finishes the job, but Mike ready for the first member. Jackie towards back site. There's damage, but no kill just yet. Azza trying to swarm Goofy, can't quite do so. Goofy doubles up. He'll look to triple up now as his teammate comes in from the flank. Sparrow good for another. Grass, yes, he can plant, but what good does that mean? Jacob alone in a 1v5. We spoke about how good he is. Is he good for 5? No, he's not. Finds 2. Hades finishes the job. And Wisla Krakow, they come out ahead and they take map 1, 16-11.
Jacob has a fantastic match there, 26-23.
Against Wisla, who think they're probably going to be against pistols.
You know what was one of my favorite things? When Vertigo actually first came into the pool, that smoke that we just saw, that deep ramp smoke, so many of the pro players were whiffing it before they worked out how to like nail it right every time. And when it was deployed, the smoke icon would go off of the minimap and float across the screen and then just pop like in the middle of the screen because it's Vertigo. And then that would just sit there for 30 seconds. It was so much fun. But now as we see the execute actually come through, Gratis faction comes out on top, but they've not cleared sandbags here in Jedka. He is a deadly man.
Well, I think Jedka may have actually struck a bit too soon. It falls down to a 3-on-2 as Sparrow makes his way forward to Extremum because of the molly. They can't quite get a blonde plant just yet, though. As the smokes fade, Extremum do open themselves up for a bit of fire now, but the reality is as they continue to survive, Benset, he's got Pozhnek to worry about for good reason, but as Jacob, he's going to be ready on the close angle as well. It'll be a little bit of a crossfire here as Bentet's good for 1. It's all on Spiro in a 1 versus 3. Good for 1. Re-aggresses. Catches out the second now. 1 for the 1v1 with a smoke in hand. Azza is going to have to go huge right now. Can he do so? He's waiting for timing. And Spiro is just going to have to tap that bomb and pray that they come towards him. He taps it through the smoke. Azza comes out on top. And the merits of Extremers.
Just a deagle and a FAMAS that was saved, and they are able to snatch it away regardless. We do see the full buy come out now, and a beautiful nade stack to take down Azza early. Gives Wisla the man advantage once again.
Extremum having to be sent reeling from that now. Definitely slow their attack towards ramp. However, it doesn't stop it. Instead, they're being a bit more methodical with it. They're not quite taking aim duels too ambitiously. And as Satisfaction finds Hades to even out the man count, he'll try and go a bit aggressive again towards center sight onto Goofy, who for the most part has been able to get away, but at the expense of Jedka, he'll find himself finished. Satisfaction, bit of damage done to him on the flip side, but Jacob, on top of this site, is going to continue wreaking havoc on the Wisla now, who find themselves in 2-on-4. With the assistance of the rest of Extremum, as now in a 4-on-4, the Aussie side looks to assault this A site.
It's a bit ambitious from Sparrow there, but doing something like that, even just once, keeps Extremum guessing. And in these rounds, it does make them scared. Hades up close, able to fire the first, instantly traded by Liaz, but Goofy on the off angle. Surely this isn't going to be pre-fired as they come right through, accompanied by the flash. They do see him through the upper embers of that smoke. And Jedka, he's forced away by the mollies. We will see the C4 go down once again. And Wisla, do they go for this retake with no utility
out? And for now, as the set piece goes out, there's a bit of a lull as they make sure that Wisla just back away completely. A few shots ring out through the smoke, but there's no kill yet. Liaz good for one, Spirit to trade for as he gets like stay in the manner, putting it down to a 4-on-3 now as Hades hits one. Hades doubles up now, and in on 2-on-2 right now. There is good reason to fear Hades because he is on fire. He moves on forward. Liaz with good reason to be scared right now as Hazy slowly pushes on forward, ready to take him down and ready to challenge the young Australian now. As Pozhnek, he's also ready for the aggression, but he may be timing pretty bad here. Liaz comes out on top of the Hades now, alone in a 1v2.
Comes down to timing here for Hades as the flash pops over the top. He should expect Jacob to be aggressing from the left-hand side, and there we go. Timing goes his way, and he's able to deploy a flash, and I think he might even just hold this defuse. Instead, he taps it, but there's surely no time. Here's the jump onto the box, flicks up, hits the shot. I'm not sure if he's got time on this defuse, though. I don't think he does. It'll be the final second, but no. The bomb goes 9-5. A real good opportunity here for Wisla to make it 6, but not with that start. Jacob trips the early man, gets tagged down to 3 points of health, most importantly stays alive, but not for too much longer. Falls to Hades Molotov, and, well, we see a very, very messy early engagement there towards ramp, but a 4v4 nonetheless.
Sparrow again rings true. He doubles up once more now, and suddenly things are looking terrifying for Extremum. Sparrow on the 3. He almost made it 4 there. So it falls down to Liaz, the last man left standing, make his way forward, finish off
right through. The wall's going to allow them to have some leg room to get this C4 planted, but instead it's to push right through it, and it's going to cost them their lives. That is unbelievable, and there's such a huge mistake there for Extremum to make.
A beautiful, beautiful defense by Wisla Krakow now.
Diverted, Jay can take some damage and he has to fall off of it. Sparrow looking like he's going to go for a swing to try and eliminate him, and here we go. He actually finds 2 in the engagement. Both of the players, the booster and the boostee, and Azza and Liaz, they can't fight back here. They have to fall away. It's going to be the safe call. There's not going to be any money to actually invest around these 2 rifles, and Wisla, they're going to take the lead for the first time in a long time.
It has just been incredible by Sparrow especially. We look to Pozhnek, he's ready for the save. He cancels it out, and Extremum then
proceed with caution. Of course, I think they're quite lucky that they've kind of been taught their lesson around where they can afford to drop it. If that comes later in the game, it can be a make or break. Right now, they've still got an opportunity to come back, but a very nice opening pick there from Gratisfaction does decrease their chances of taking the 21st.
We see the butterfly effect as well. As Gratisfaction now feeling the confidence now. He's found 2 quick kills. The Molly's going to be forcing Hades forwards, and while Hades definitely is not going to have any woes with trying to fight this Zorba Gratisfaction, looks like Gratisfaction might just try and take the fight to him. Ben set on the close angle is going to look to have a crack at it himself. Flashes go out though. Hades not fighting Gratisfaction there despite spotting him there. Gratisfaction now on for 4. As Bente tries his hand at aggression, but there's hardly any players left to aggress on. Bente good for 1. Jedka alone in a 1v4.
Way. We just see a couple of pistols here from Wisla, a Galil, an AK, and a MAC-10 on Ponchek. Very limited utility for them to work with. But with this passive defense from Extremum, they've allowed them to take quite a lot of control. Gratisfaction still finding the opening pick, and there's a second one coming through for Jacob. This is all falling apart for Wisla, and I think this is probably the end.
We see Project and Goop for the last 2 members left standing, making their way towards B with only a MAC-10 and a Galil to ease their passing. Feel like as they run into these AGs, this should be a swift dispatchment for Liaz. He falls to Goofy though, Nazar also taken down now, gives Wisla a glimmer of hope, but I fear it is a fleeting glimmer as Extremum get ready to try and cancel this plant and kickstart their retake here, as Project actually finds the first now. And having made it very close, suddenly this is the tough old spot for Extremum now, who find themselves in a retake they're seriously being challenged in.
This is very doable right now for Wisla, and as Ben said, he's desperate to not make any noise. As soon as he makes the step, he knows that his life is on the line. But the shadow, oh no, it's such a cruel mistress. Ponchek spotted, and Bentek firing through the smoke, able to get the second. It comes a little bit close for comfort, but Extremum are able to recover it. And Bentek, who's had such a sensational map, is the man to on the cams there from Extremum. They were looking pretty happy off the back of that win. They went away, they had a 10-minute break. Now they're back, they're refreshed, and they're ready to go. And that confidence is flowing. And for Wisla, I think they're going to be pretty disappointed that they let that one slip as far as they did. So let's see how they come into this pistol round. And oh, they've come into the pistol round. Crispy, Sparrow, 2 headshots. And Ponchek, his headshot was one to be admired. Mid-air, crossover shot. It seems that they're crumbling off the back of it, though. And we actually found ourselves in a 2-on-2.
That is a beautiful opening there. And I tell you what, that is a great recovery from Extremum on their behalf. Right now for Wisla, they are just going to be spread around the map. They're going to wait to see just what can come their way. And they are just going to see just what's going to attack them, where the attack will come from. I think for the time being, we do have a bit of a lull where we do wait to see just how they can catch out some of these members. But as Benta and Gratsfaction make their way towards Heaven, it looks like Wisla Krakow, they're going to be playing retake on this site.
This has been an incredible recovery here from Extremum. With that C4 being dropped down, it means that Gratisfaction can plant it and Bentek can stay up in heaven, but that has played to his detriment. Jedka strips his head away from his body, and Gratisfaction all by himself spots out the 2 players crossing to the site. He's made his position known, and as he swings, Goofy takes him out. Brilliant recovery there from Wisla, and that round, just as back and forth as this series has played out to be, we see this defuse coming through. I think it's being delayed so that Goofy can look for something. I'm not sure what he's looking for. Ah, it's the kit. There we go. He's found it. And Wisla, they will quite comfortably take that first.
Great round by Wisla. And tell you what, as we look up in the way that he used to on Vertigo, we saw Jedka making a bit of noise on top of Hut right now. This will be heard as the swing comes out from Extremum. The AXQ comes through. Goofy good for 1. Now the trade's coming either way. Jedka good for 2. He doubles up, Grat onto another. And now in a 2-on-4. It's kills either way, but as Project shuts down Gratisfaction, it leaves Azza in an almost impossible situation. Pushing forward, Hades to worry about, and for good reason now. Can't quite come out on top, but neither does Hades. Instead, he gets his way down to B by some miracle there. And from the looks of it, he'll be able to secure a bomb plant as well.
Not a big fan of the strat hit from Extremum. They need to give Wisla a little bit more respect than that. Trying to go for the fast A play was never going to work, because with the weapons in hand, Wisla are just too strong. And it does tie up 3-3. Do we see a retrieve sniper? There's definitely an AWP here somewhere. I'm just not sure where. So maybe we do just see these rifles. There we go. They upgrade to a couple of AKs. I think they'll be quite happy about that one. But as you say, still no sniper available.
We see Goofy now trying to hold against these members, and instead, with 25 seconds left, Extremum, they got to push somewhere damn quickly, and Brojnek in a perfect position to refute this, those that are coming. Jet across the Bentet means that the flank has just been refuted. Brojnek, though, taken down nonetheless, though. Gratisfaction and Azza, that is a perfect opening to the site now. Leave it all down to Jedka, who gets us out the first member. Gratisfaction now to try and catch out a response. Can't do so, makes his way towards Hut, and it was spotted out by Spiro. A beautiful round by Wisla Krakow and a great recovery, and what could have been a very, very big upset by Extremum.
Towards Heaven with it, or they fall back and go elsewhere. Sparrow this time up in secret, tries to get the drop, but takes some damage from the incendiary. It shows away his position, and Jacob's able to fire through. Does take a lot of damage in the engagement, but they do take the man advantage, and with it, they're going to bomb down to this B site.
Hades ready for these members. Can't quite catch him out for the time being as Util goes down, and it holds Extremum at least at bay for now. But right now, Hades and Projnek, they're going to have to hold as best they can. And for Extremum, 30 seconds left, they're going to have to make a decision as to where they go, and pretty damn quickly. It looks like it will be a B hits now. When for Wisla Krakow, how good's their defense? Hades good for 1 now. He'll look to double up on to Benta. Does just that. Knows that Gratisfaction is going to come from above as they trade. And with that, it goes to a 3-on-3 after plant scenario.
If the plant can be denied here, it'd be huge. But no, there's no opportunity. Ponchek with the FAMAS finds the kill later regardless, and Azza left on his lonesome, 1 versus 3, does find the first headshot, and there's really potential here. Up against the FAMASA Ponchek, up on top of the railings, able to connect, and now the 1v1. Goofy can't even tap the bomb, has to just go for this kill, knows exactly where he is, but the timing is not going his way at all. As Azza deploys the flash, he's actually going to get aggressive into this one, playing Ring of Roses, dancing around, finally gets eliminated. That's incredibly messy from Goofy, but he wins it regardless, and Wisla, oh, too close for comfort in the 1-on-3.
Jacob finishes the job, but now for Goofy and Jedka, quarter rotation. It's going to be Liaz ready for them. Not able to kill them though, but this is still a man down now. Looks like they may lose this half here.
Well, with the C4 going down, the man advantage and the B site obtained, I'm not sure Wisla's way back in, especially with this utility in place. It kind of locks them out of the site and runs down this clock. There's 1 kit on Goofy, but only a flash and a smoke for them to actually use to get back in. That flashbang, completely useless. Doesn't blind a single member, doesn't force them out of position whatsoever. And they can continue to jiggle and take the fight to the prime opposite. Here for Wisla, they're charging right in, not wasting any time whatsoever. And as they get onto this B site, the retake, it's hot on their heels, but they do have an opportunity to get this C4 planted. The issue is they're losing the gunfights.
It's kills either way, and right now for Goofy and Hades, they've both fallen. Jedka keeps the man count, even though they're 3-on-3. Extremum trying to swarm the side. Jedka finds yet another now. It's Jacob sending him to an early grave, though, putting it down to a 1-on-2 now for Spiro, as Bentep finds Projnek. And right now for Spiro, he's going to have to play for the credibility, and he's going to have to pray for the timing. And as Bentep spots him out, Bentep will finish the job. And off the back of that, Extremum, they find the pistol round, making it 9-7 and showing
as well that they snatched away in the last. Nice early configuration to get a nade into A main. Doesn't connect for anything this time, as we actually see heavier presence towards ramp, and Jacob getting nice and aggressive in hut. Let's see if this works out for him.
Project good for 1. Jacob there to double it up, and Ben is ready to support him as well, as it leaves Extremum with an even man count. However, Wisla Krakow, with players ready to be stacked up towards outside, looks like they're going to go for the map at control, hence the kind of spread here, which Extremum can't really do being a man down. But Jacob, he's going to try and be aggressive here. We said in the pregame, the man to compete with Spiro and Hades is Jacob. And well, he's done so admirably now. That smoke fades. Who does he challenge? He challenges both. Tagging up Spiro. Not quite able to find Goofy. But Azza, he's the one who rises to that challenge. Goofy now, 25 HP left. Alone in a 1v3. What good can he hope to do here? Hold.
Oh, this could be the beginning of the end here for Wisla Krakow. They need to get these final kills, and Jacob hitting the headshot takes the man advantage. The C4 is going to go down on the B site, and that kind of negates that advantage that Extremum actually have as they come in for this retake. They've got so much utility. Surely they get this done, but it's a single-pronged approach. They're all coming in from ramp, and Wisla can divert all of their attention to this area. 4 players stacked up, and all they need to do is hit their shots. The flash, it's perfect, but Ponchek turns it, and they continue to push through. They need to hit these shots. Ponchek hits the first headshot. Bentet's there to trade, but Goofy finds one right back. 2 versus 2, and this C4, it's surely too far gone. They find both the final headshots in unison, and Bentet's going to get on that C4 just in the nick of time. This time he's got a kit to do